Do you ever think sometimes it doesn't matter what you do, it can never make a difference? And everything is too big or too difficult? I'm sure people in the Bible felt like that sometimes. I'm going to read you a story today from the New Testament part of the Bible. It's a story I bet you know really well, and it's called Bread and Fish for All. But listen very carefully. While you're listening, think about the little boy that's in the story, and we'll talk about him a bit more later. I'm going to be reading from John chapter 6. Jesus went across the Sea of Galilee. A huge crowd followed him, attracted by the miracles they'd seen him do among the sick. When he got to the other side, he climbed a hill and sat down, surrounded by his special friends, the disciples. It was nearly time for the feast of the Passover. When Jesus looked out and saw that a huge crowd had arrived, he said to Philip, "Where can we buy bread to feed all these people?" He said this to challenge Philip's faith. He already knew what he was going to do. Philip answered, 200 silver pieces wouldn't be enough to buy bread for each person to get a tiny piece. But one of the disciples, it was Andrew, brother to Simon Peter, said, "Oh, look, there's a little boy here. He's got 5 barley loaves and 2 fish. But that's a drop in the bucket for a huge crowd like this." Jesus said, "Get everyone to sit down." There was a lovely carpet of green grass in this place. They sat down, about 5,000 of them. Then Jesus took the bread. Giving thanks, he gave it to everyone who was sitting down. He did the same with fish. They all ate as much as they wanted. When the people had had enough food, he said to his disciples, "Gather the leftovers so nothing is wasted." They went to work and filled 12 large baskets with leftovers from the loaves. The people realised that God was at work among them in what Jesus had just done. It's a story that many people know very well, but I want us to think of that little boy. Why was that little boy the only one who'd bought a packed lunch? Was he the only person who was willing to share? We don't know. We really don't know. But what we do know is that little boy was willing to share his packed lunch. It must have seemed a very small lunch to him. Can you just imagine the disciples arguing, saying, "Where are we going to get this money from? How can we feed all these people? That's not fair. That's not right." Can you imagine this little boy perhaps saying, "Excuse me, I've got a packed lunch here. You can have my packed lunch." Now I can imagine that happening. And that little boy's packed lunch was a very small lunch for 5,000 people. And Jesus didn't have to take that packed lunch. Jesus, the Son of God, made the whole world. He could have created packed lunch out of stones, out of anything. But he chose to take that little boy's packed lunch and to share it and to use it to make a magnificent miracle. So if you're feeling a little bit small and nothing you do matters, think about that little boy. All God asks us to do is to share what we have. He doesn't ask us to share what we don't have. So do something small today and it will count for God. It might be to make a little card to cheer someone up. It might be to help with the washing up. It even just might be a smile when someone's feeling sad. Every single thing we do can be taken and God can use it to transform it into an everyday miracle. Oh, talking of packed lunch, it's time for mine. Bye.